Good morning, my dear students. I am Mohammad Bawaddin, working as an assistant professor in ISL Engineering College, which is affiliated to Usman University, Hyderabad. So today in this sessions, we are going to discuss regarding the classifications of bearings. Okay. So first of all, the bearings is broadly classified into two types. The first one is according to direction of load to be supported. The first thing is on the bearing is broadly classified into two types, the radial bearing, another one is the thrust bearing. So what is the meaning of radial bearing? So radial bearing nothing but the load act perpendicular to the direction of motion of a moving element, we can say as radial bearing. So let us see over here. This is load, okay. The load acting on a bearing. How is it? The nature of the load is radially. How is it? Radially. The radial bearing in which the load is acting. Wait. Here, in the radial bearing in which this load is always perpendicular to the direction of motion of a moving element. So moving element nothing but this load is acting on the shaft. Let us see over here. This is our general. Okay, so the load on the general, the load always act perpendicular to the direction of motion of a moving element. Here the moving element is wood here shaft. The shaft, what we can say? We can say as the general. If this general is rotating in clockwise direction, on which the radial load is acting on it. So the such type of the bearing we can say as radial bearing. What we can say here? We can say as radial bearing. Another one is thrust bearing. The thrust bearing nothing but the load is acting on a bearing is act along the axis of rotation. Along the axis of rotation we can say as the thrust bearing. Let's see over here. We are applying the load. Boom here, we are applying the load on the general, or we can say as we are applying the load on the shaft. On the shaft. So in the thrust bearing, the load act along the axis of the rotation, along the axis of the rotations of the general of the shaft, we can say as the thrust bearing. What we can say here? Thrust bearing. So if the load is acting axis of the shaft, we can say as the thrust bearing. If the load is acting perpendicular to the directions of rotations of a moving element, we can say as the radial bearing. What we can say here? Radial bearing. Always remember, in the radial bearings, this load is always act perpendicular to the direction of rotation of axis, we can say as radial bearing. And the thrust bearing nothing but the load is act along the axis of the rotation of a shaft or rotation of the general, we can say as thrust bearing. Okay dear. According to second one is according to nature of contact. So bearing under this group are classified into two types. The first one is the sliding contacts of bearing, another one is the rolling contacts of bearing. The first one we are going to discuss regarding the sliding contacts of bearing. The sliding contact take place along the surface of contact between the moving element and fixed element. So here, let us see in the sliding contacts of bearing. The sliding can take place the surface of contact between the moving element and fixed element. The sliding bearing is known as, sometime we can say as plain bearing. What we can say here? We can say as plain bearing. Let us see. Here this is the moving element. This moving element we can say as general. What we can say here? We can say as general. Okay, and this is the fixed element, is the bearing. Okay, so in the sliding contact bearings, in which the sliding can be take place along with the surface of contact between the moving element as well as in between the fixed element. So in which the sliding contacts of bearing, in which we are not using the lubrication in between the general as well as in between this bearing. What about in the rolling contacts of bearings? So in the rolling contacts of bearings, in which we are using the steel ball or we are using the rollers in between, so interpose between the moving as well as in between this fixed element. So let us see. So we are interpose, we are inserting this ball as well as roller, we insert in between this fixed element, this is the fixed element, as well as in between this moving element. We are interposed this ball as well as roller in between this general as well as in between this fixed element. Let us see. So this general already we can say that this moving element, what we can say here, we can say as general. Is it right? So what I am doing over here in these rolling contacts of bearing, in which we are using these balls as well as rollers, we are interposed in between these fixed element as well as in between this moving element. Okay dear, in these rolling contacts of bearing. Okay dear. Next one, types of sliding contacts of bearings. So sliding contacts of bearing, in which the sliding action is guided in a straight line and the carrying the radial load. Okay, I shown in a figure. So it is also called as slipper, or sometimes we can say as guide. So these bearings are usually found in the cross head of the steam engine. Cross head of the steam engine, in which we are using this such type of the sliding contacts of bearing. So we will discuss regarding the full general bearing, partial general bearings and fitted general bearings. The first thing is we are going to discuss regarding the full general bearings. Okay. Let us see. So the angle of contact. First of all, we are discussing about full general bearing. The angle of contact of the bearing with the general is how much is there? 360. So the angle of contact between this bearing as well as between this general, how much is there? The angle of contact between this general as well as in between the bearing is how much? 360 degree. How much dear? 360 degree. Clear? So the angle of in the partial bearing, in which what will happen? So the partial bearing, in which the angle of contact between this bearing and general is 120 degree. How much dear? The angle of contact between this bearing and general is 120 degree. So we know very well in the full general bearings, so this type of the bearings is widely used in the accommodate the bearing load. Which type of the load? Bearing load in any radial direction. In any radial direction they can easily bearing the such type of the load in the full general bearings. What about the partial general bearings? So this the most common application of the partial general bearings, it is found in the railroad as well as is found in the car axle, in which we are using the partial general bearings we are using. And what about the fitted general bearings? So we already discussed about in the full general bearings as well as in the partial general bearings, also called as this full general bearing and partial general bearings also called as clearance bearing. What we can say here? We can say as clearance bearing, because the diameter of the general is lesser than the bearing. Diameter of this general, the diameter of this general is lesser than the bearing. Clear? But if you observe over here, the angle of this fitted general bearing nothing but the angle of contact between this bearing and general is 120 degree. But the diameter of this general, is greater than the diameter of the bearing. Diameter of the general is greater than the diameter of the bearing. So the such type of the bearings, what we can say as the fitted bearing, we can say that. Again I will repeat over here. The full general bearing nothing but the angle of contact between this general as well as in between this bearing is how much is there? 360 degree. Okay, and the diameter of this general, is lesser than the diameter of the bearing. So such type of the bearings, what we can say as the full general bearing. What about the partial general bearing? The partial general bearing nothing but the angle of contact between the general as well as between the bearing is how much is there? 120 degree. But the diameter of the general is lesser than diameter of the bearing. So such type of the bearings, what we can say as the partial general bearings. If here the fitted general bearing nothing but the angle of contact between the bearing and general is how much is there? 120 degree. How much is that here? 120 degree. But the diameter of the general is greater than the diameter of the bearing. So we can say as the fitted general bearings. Okay dear, I hope so no one is having the confusion over here. Then next one. Okay, classification of sliding contacts bearing. So bearings is broadly classified into three types. The first one is based on the types of load carried, first condition, and the second thing is based on the types of lubrications we are using in between the general as well as in between the bearing, and the third thing is based on the lubrication mechanisms we are using in between the general as well as in between the bearing. The first one we are going to discuss regarding the based on the types of load, carried. So here the first one we are going to discuss about the radial bearing, second one is the thrust bearing, and third one is radial thrust bearing. Okay, so first of all we are going to discuss regarding the bearings is classified based on the types of load carried. Okay, let us see. First one is radial bearing. Okay, so radial bearing nothing but these bearing carry only radial load. So this means that the load on this bearing or load on this general, this is what we can say here, we can say as general, and this one what we can say fixed one we can say as bearing. Is it right? So the load on this bearing can carry only which type of the load is acting here? Only the radial load is acting on this general. So such type of the bearings what we can say as the radial bearing. What we can say here? Radial bearing. So let us see. If you observe over here, so this one, the small d is indicate that it is a diameter of this general. What we can say? Diameter of the general. And the fixed one is that we can say diameters of the bearing. This is inner diameter of this bearing. Clear? Then next one is thrust bearing. Second one is thrust bearing. The thrust bearing nothing but, so sometimes this thrust bearing what we can say as axial bearing. What we can say here? We can say as axial bearing. So in the thrust bearing in which this bearing carry only axial load. So let us see on this figure, the load is acting on this general. The load is acting on the general. How is it? It should be axial load. Which type of the load is acting on the general here? The axial load is acting on the general. The such type of the bearing we can say as the thrust bearing, or we can say as axial bearing, we can say that. Another one is radial thrust bearing. So the radial thrust bearing nothing but this bearing can carry the both radial load as well as they carry in the thrust load. Let us see this figure on this bearing. This is one, what we can say as shaft, or we can say as general. What we can say as shaft, or we can say as general. On this shaft, which type of the load is acting over here? The load is acting perpendicular to the axis of the shaft. So the such type of the bearings we can say as the radial load. What we can say? A radial load. If the load is acting to the axis of the shaft, we can say as the thrust bearing. So this means that here the both radial load as well as the thrust load is acting on the bearing. The such type of the bearings we can say that radial thrust bearing. What we can say? Radial thrust bearing. Next one. Second condition is bearing classified based on the lubrications. Because we are using the different type of the lubrications we are using in between these two contact surface. Is it right? So first we are going to discuss about thick film lubrication. So surface are separated by here. Let us see over here. This surface are separated by thick film of lubrication. And there will be no metal to metal contact. Okay, so this film is anywhere from 8 to 20 micrometer. The typical value of the coefficient of frictions lies in between the 0.002 to 0.010. So hydrodynamic lubrications come under this category. So wear is minimum in this case. So what you understood? The thick film lubrication, nothing but we are using the thick film, maximum amount of lubrications we are using in between this contact surface. Okay, so let us see over here. This is the fixed one, and this is one moving one. Okay, so if you applying the some amount of force on it, okay, if you applying the tensile forces, if it is acting on the surface, on this moving surface, then what happen? This moving surface is tried to move in a wherever force will applied. If I am applying the force toward this side, so this body or this slide will move toward this right side only. Is it right? So what I'm doing here, so in between this moving plate as well as in between this fixed plate, in between the moving plate as well as in between the fixed plate, we are using the thick film of lubrication. Maximum amount of lubrications we are using in between this, in between the moving element as well as in between the fixed plate. Is it right? So the frictions losses, the film thickness is anywhere. We are using the thickness of the lubrications is from 8 to 20 micrometers. We are using the thick film lubrications we are using in between this moving plate as well as in between this fixed plate. Is it right? So we know very well if the coefficient of frictions, some students is having a confusion regarding what is the meaning of coefficient of friction. The coefficient of friction nothing but F is equal to mu into R. Okay, so if you applying the some amount of force on it, is it right? If you apply the tangential force acting on it, so F by R is equal to mu. So let us think about it. F nothing but we applying the tangential force we applying on the moving plate. On whom we applied here? On the moving plate. Due to what happened, it causes the resistance of the fixed one. If this moving plate, they have the tendency to move wherever the force we applied. We applying the force toward the right hand side. So they trying to move toward the right hand side. But this fixed one plate above that one, which one is there? We are using the thick film of lubrications. We are using in between this moving plate as well as in between this fixed plate. They try to push or they try to resist to moving plate. So nothing but friction. So coefficient of friction nothing but it's a limiting force of friction by the normal reaction, we can say as coefficient of friction. So here the coefficient of frictions always lies in between from 0.002 to 0.010. So under this category. So here if you are using the maximum amount of lubrication, the wear is minimum in this case. Clear? Come to the second point. Thin film lubrication. In the thin film lubrication in which we are using here, they have the possibility, this is our what we can say fixed plate, this is the fixed plate and this is the moving plate. Okay, here in this fixed plate as well as in the moving plate, we are using the less amount of film lubrications we are providing, or the thin amount of lubrications, we are providing in between this fixed plate as well as in between this moving plate. So for that reason they have the possibility, the some spot here, the metal to metal contact, at this some spot metal to metal contact, because we are using thin film of lubrication, we are using the thin amount of lubrications we are supplying in between the fixed plate as well as in between this moving plate. So this is the lubrication, we are less amount of lubrications we are providing in between the fixed plate as well as in between this moving plates. So because of intermittent contact is also called as mixed film lubrication. What we can say here, we can say as mixed film lubrication also we call as. The surface wear is mild, so the coefficient of frictions is commonly, it lies in between 0.04 to 0.10. the coefficient of frictions lies in between. So you understood that in the thick film lubrications we are using the maximum amount of lubrications we are using in between the fixed plate as well as in between the moving plate. So for that reason there is no contact between from metal to metal. Okay, what about the thin film lubrication? The thin film lubrication in which we are providing the less amount of thin film lubrications we are supplying in between the fixed plate as well as in between the moving plate, they have the possibility of that the spot, in the some case the metal to metal contact, in some of the case in the some high spot metal to metal contact. So in a thin film lubrication. What about the Bondi lubrication? So in the Bondi lubrication, here the surface is continuously and extensive. The lubrication is continuously smeared over the surface and provide as the continuous renew observed surface film reduce the friction and wear. The typical coefficient of friction is lies in between the 0.0120. So here very less amount of, here in the Bondi lubrication in which very less amount of lubrications we are providing in between this fixed plate as well as in between the moving plate. So for that reasons here at the spot here maximum metal to metal contact in between the Bondi lubrications, okay dear, I hope so. Are you understood? So in the thick lubrication what I am doing over here, we are provide the maximum amount of lubrication in between this fixed plate as well as in between the moving plate. For that reason there is no metal to metal contact. But what about the thin lubrication? In the thin film lubrication in which we are using the less amount of lubrication, for that reason they have the possibility of the metal to metal contact at a one place. But in the Bondi condition in which we are using the very less amount of lubrication we are providing in between this from fixed plate to the moving plate, for that reason they have the possibility of maximum amount of metal to metal contact over here. So such type of the process we can say as Bondi lubrication. Here the coefficient of frictions is always lies in between from 0.05 to 0.20. Okay, then next one we are going to discuss about advantage. Okay, next one is lubrication. So lubrication is a science of reducing the friction by the application of suitable system, is we can say as lubricant. Okay dear, So between the rubbing surface of the bodies having the rotary motions of lubricants we are using. Already you all know about these things here. This is one moving plate and this is one is the fixed one. So in between what I am doing over here, this is we are using some amount of lubrications in between the fixed plate as well as in between the moving plate. Okay, so if this moving plate, if they have the tendency to move in any particular direction, if they move in a toward right side, they have the possibility this moving plate rub to the on the surface of the fixed plate. This is the surface. If you are using the lubrication, then what will happen? They can move smoothly on the surface of the fixed plate. Is it right? So between the rubbing surface of the body having the rotary motions of lubricants, so we are using the different type of the lubricants we are using in between this moving plate as well as in between this fixed plate. The first thing is we are going to discuss about the liquid lubricant. So in the liquid lubricant in which we are using the mineral and vegetables oils we are using in the liquid lubricant in which we are using. What about this semi-solid lubricant? In the semi-solid lubricant, nothing but it is one type of the grease. Nowadays we are observing in our daily lives. So for example is semi-solid lubricant is example is grease. Okay, and next one is solid lubricant. The solid lubricant in which we are using the such type of the lubricant is the shape of solid. Like graphite we are using and molybdenum we are using, molybdenum disulfide we are using in a solid lubricant. But in the almost all we are giving the more priority to the liquid lubricant we are supplying in between this bearing. Okay, so what are the objective of the lubricant? Why I am using this lubricant? What main intention of the lubricant? Why I am supplying the lubrication here? Because our intention is there, we want to reduce the friction. First thing is we want to reduce the friction. For that reason we are using the lubrication in between the moving plate as well as in between the fixed plate. So the moving plate in the sense we can say as a general, and the fixed one we can say as the bearing. Is it right? As well as our main intention is that we want to reduce as well as we want to prevent the wear. For that reasons we are using the lubricant. And the third objective of our lubrication is we need to carry away the heat generation due to the friction. So if it is a friction is occurring on the surface of the moving plate as well as on the surface of the fixed plate, so our intention is we need to carry away the heat, whatever the heat generated on the surface, if you are using the lubrication in between the contact surface of the fixed plate as well as in the contact surface of the moving plate. And next one is our intention is there we want to protect general and bearing from the corrosions. This is our general. Okay, this is what we can say the bigger one we can say as bearing, and the smaller one we can say as general. So what is our main intention is there? Our main intention is there we want to protect from the corrosions on wound here, on the bearing as well as on the general. So if it is corrosions will be occurring in the bearing, so they have the tendency the general as well as bearing will not be move smoothly. Okay, so for that reason we need to give the priority, because almost all we need to supply the maximum amount of lubrications in between the general as well as in between the bearing, in between the bearing to protect from the corrosions, So modes of lubrications. So the modes of lubrications is broadly classified into two types. The first one is the thick film lubrication, another one is the thin film lubrication. So the thick film lubrications is also broadly classified into two types. The first one is the hydrostatic lubrication, another one is the hydrodynamic lubrication. Okay dear, this hydrodynamic lubrications is broadly classified into two types. The first one is full general bearing, another one is the partial general bearing. The first of all we are going to discuss regarding the full general bearing, another one is the partial general bearing. So we know very well in the thick film lubrications what will happen here. In the thick film lubrications in which we are using the maximum amount of lubrications we are supplying. Over here already we have discussed, is it right, Nadia? Let us see, this is our fixed plate, this is our moving plate. So in between we are providing the maximum amount of lubrications we are providing in between this fixed plate as well as in between the moving plate. Is it right, Nadia? So in the thick film lubrications, they have the possibility that this moving plate will not be contact with this fixed plate, because of we are supplying the maximum amount of lubrication in between the surface of fixed plate as well in between the surface of moving plate. Thin film lubrication, in which what will happen here, so we are using the less amount of lubrications we are supplying in between the fixed plate as well as in between the thin plate. They have the possibility is there in the some spot, they have the possibility is there, this moving plate is contact with this fixed plate, this moving plate is contact with this fixed plate. This is our fixed plate and this is our moving plate. They have the possibility is contact with this moving plate is they have the possibility contact with this fixed plate, because we are using the less amount of lubrications we are supplying in between the surface of fixed plate, in between the surface of the moving plate. So we can say as thin film lubrication. So first of all we are going to discuss about hydrodynamics lubrication, in which first of all full general bearing, second one is the partial general bearing. Okay, after that we are going to discuss regarding the hydrostatic lubrications we are going to discuss. Okay, next one is hydrodynamics lubrications. So a system of lubrication in which the load supporting fluid, film, okay, so let us see over here, in the system of lubrication in which the load supporting fluid film is created by the shape and relative motions of the sliding surface. Just now I discussed that a lubrication in which whatever the load is acting on the moving component, is it right? So it may be the radial load is acting, or it may be thrust load is acting on this general, is it right? The supporting fluid film is created by the shape and the relative motions of the sliding surface. Okay, the principle of hydrodynamics lubrication in the general bearing as shown in a figure. Initially the shaft is at rest condition. Let's assume that this shaft, or we can say that if the general, if it is in rest condition, the shaft is in rest condition and it is sink to the bottom of the clearance space under the action of the load. So this means that if the shaft or general, if it is rest condition, then this general is contact with bearing. General is contact with bearing if body is in rest condition or body is in ideal condition. The space of the general and bearing touch with each other during the rest condition. If the behavior of the body is rest condition, at that time the general as well as the bearing will contact with each other. They will contact at the bottom of the portion, when body is in rest condition. And the second thing is, if the general is start to rotate, it climb the surface as shown in figure. Let us see, this is our bearing and this is our general. This is our general and this one what we can say here? We can say as bearing. What we can say here? Bearing. If the general as well as bearing, if it is a rest condition, this general will rest at the bottom of the bearing, if the behavior of body is rest condition of the general. If the general is in motion condition, if the behavior of the general is in dynamic condition, then this general is moving from bottom to top position. Is it right? So let us see over here. If the general start to rotate, it climb the surface as shown in figure. So this means that the general is moving from the bottom position to this up to over here. Try to tilt or try to climb in a above position. Is it right? So similarly, we know very well, if the speed is further increases, the speed of the general goes on increases, it forces the fluid into the wedge shape region as shown in a figure. So here, if the speed of the general, if it is goes on increases, then we need to supply the maximum amount of fuel lubrications we need to supply in between the general as well as in between the bearing we need to supply. Because if you are not supply the lubrication, they have the possibility is that this general will contact with this bearing. If the general is contact with the bearing, they have the possibility of the failure of the general. Is it right? So for that reason, we need to supply the sufficient amount of fuels in between this general as well as bearing. If you supply, then the shape should be in the shape in the form of wedge, in the form of wedge shape. Clear? Since the more and more fluid is forced into the wedge shape, the clearance space pressurized is generated within the system. So let us see over here. If we apply, if the behavioral body of the general is in dynamic condition, if the general is climbing from the one position to another position to the top position toward the left hand side, again what will happen? It will produce the pressure toward from left hand side toward the right hand side. Clear? So for that reason, the pressure distributions around this periphery of this general bearing, the pressure distributions around the general bearing. Okay, then so we know very well that since the pressure is created, if the pressure is created in this bearing within the system due to the rotation of the shaft, due to the rotations of this general. Okay, so this type of the bearings, what we can say as the self-acting bearing. What we can say here? We can say as self-acting bearing. So let us see over here, if the pressure generated in the clearance space, support the external load is acting on it. Let us see over here. So if the shaft, or if it is a general, if it is rotating, so it will produce the clearance in between this general as well as in between these bearings. After that, the pressures will be generated, the pressures distribution or pressure will be generated from the toward left to the right hand side. So in this case, it is not necessary to supply the lubrication under the pressure. Okay, under the pressure there is no need to supply the maximum amount of lubrications in between the general as well as in between the bearing. So here only sufficient and continuous supply of lubricant is required. So this means that, so here the maximum amount of lubrication there is no need to supply, but we need to supply the continuously lubrications we need to supply in between this general as well as in between this bearing we need to supply. Okay, let us see. In this bearing, the load carrying the surface are separated by a stable thick film of lubricant that prevent the metal to metal contact. So this means that if you are applied, let us see, if you observe this figure, this is what we can say, this is the figure of general. This is the figure of general, is it right? So in the general, above one layer will be there, this is the layer of oil, that is the layer of oil. So if you provide the sufficient amount of oil, so they have the possibility is there, the general will not be contact with this bearing. General will not be contact with the bearing, if you supply the sufficient or continuous amount of lubrication, if you supplied in between this general as well as in between these bearings. Is it right? So for that reason, there is no metal to metal contact. There is no metal to metal contact when if you supply the less amount of lubrication. Okay, dear. Okay, this film is pressure generated by the moving surface that force the lubrication through the wedge-shaped zone. At the sufficient high speed, the pressures will be developed around the journal, sustain the load. Already we discussed, is it right? So if the behavioral body is in rest condition, okay, if this behavioral body is rest condition of the journal, this journal will contact with this bearing. Is it right? So if the behavior of the journal, if it is in dynamic condition, if it is in motion condition, then what happen? It will produce the pressure generated toward from left side to the right hand side. So for that reason, if it is the pressure will be developed in this bearing. Okay, so after that, what we have to do here, we need to supply the continuous amount of lubrications we need to supply in between this journal as well as in between this bearing. Clear? So let us think about it. The same concept I am elaborate over here. The first stage and second stage, they have the two types of the stress in the aerodynamics bearings. The first stage we are going to discuss. Let us consider a steady load or force F, okay, is acting on the journal, okay, is acting on the journal. Okay, then if the journal, this one what we can say as this portion, we can say as journal. Okay, dear. Okay, dear. If the journal is, if it is rest condition, the bearing clearance space is filled with an oil. Okay, but the load F has squeezed out the oil film at the bottom. The metal to metal exists. The vertical axis of the bearing and journal are coaxial load, and the reactions are in the line contact. So this means that, let us think about it. If the behavior of the journal, if it is in rest condition, then what will happen? So here the journal is contact with this bearing if the behavioral body is in rest condition. Is it right? So here there is no need to supply the fuels in between this journal as well as in between this bearing. Okay, because if you supply oil will be squeezed in between this journal as well as in between this bearing. Is it right? If the behavioral body is in rest condition. If the behavioral body is in dynamic condition, let us see. When journal start rotating, is it right? When journal start rotating in a clockwise direction, because of friction, the journal start to climb the wall of the bearing surface. So the bonded lubrication exists now. The wear normally take place during this period. However, the general rotation draw the oil between the surface and they separate. So let us think about it. If the behavior of this journal, let us think about it. The behavior of this journal, how is it here, is in motion condition. So this journal is rotating in a which direction here? They rotate in the clockwise direction. If they rotate in the clockwise directions, this journal will be climbed up on the bearing surface. This is the surface. Who is the climbing here? The journal is climbing on the bearing surface. Clear? Then if it is climbing over here, at that time there is no contact. Why? Because of we are supplying the amount of lubrication. Because in this case what I am doing over here, so here this general will rotate from clockwise direction, they rotate with a high speed. Is it right? So for that reason what happen, this general will climb the bearing surface. The general will climb the bearing surface. For that reason this body lubrication will be exist now. So for that reason the wear normally can be take place during this period. So for that reason the general rotation draw the oil between the surface, they can separate. For that reason we need to supply the less amount of lubrication we need to supply in between this general as well as in between this bearing. So for that reason this general can rotate very smoothly in between the contact surface. As third stage, let us think about it. If the speed is increases of the general, if the speed is increases of the general, the more oil drawn into the here. If the speed is increases, the more oil is drawn in the and enough pressure is built up in the contact zone to the fluid. The further increases in the speed, if you increase the speed, the additional pressure of the converging oil flow to the right of the minimum film thickness position HO, moves shaft slightly to the left of the center. So in this what will happen, the full separation of the general and bearing surface occur in the stable operation condition. The pressure distributions on the general is known as hydrodynamics lubrication, or we can say as thick film lubrication. So at this equilibrium condition the pressure force on the generals balance the external load. So let us see over here. If the speed of this general, if it is increases, so the more amount of oil is drawn and it will build up the contact zone. It will build up the contact zone because here this general is rotate in which direction here? They rotate in the clockwise direction. For that reason they produce the pressure develop over here. Clear? So for that reason we need to supply the maximum amount of lubrications in between this general as well as in between the bearing we need to supply over here. Clear? Next one. So let us see over here full and the partial general bearing. In the full partial bearings in which the angle of contact between this general and bearing is how much is that? The angle of contact between this general as well as in between this bearing is 360 degree. How much is that here? The angle of contact between this general and bearing is 360 degree over here. So this one what we can say? We can say as general, and this one we can say as bearing. The angle of contact between this general as well as bearing is how much? 360 degrees. So we can say as the full general bearings. The partial general bearing nothing but the angle of contact between the general as well as in between this bearing is how much is there? 120 degree. How much is there? 120 degree. So such type of the bearings we can say as the partial bearing. The angle of contact between this general as well as bearing is how much? 120 degree. But the main the difference is here the angle of contact of the general, diameter of the general, here the diameter of the general is lesser than the diameter of the bearing. Is it right? If you observe over here, the diameter of the general is lesser than the diameter of this bearing. Okay, but if you observe over here, the diameter of the general, here the diameter of the general is greater than the diameter of the bearing. So what we can say? We can say as the fitted bearings. Is it right? So again I will repeat this one. the portion of the shaft inside the bearing, the portion of the shaft inside this bearing, what we can say as general. And portion need to better finish and specified property, because whatever you are making the general, so they have the desirable property and they have the good finishing property, is it right? So they have the good strength also. For that reason we have to give the more priority to such type of the general. Okay, another thing is, in the full general bearing, the angle of contact with a bush is how much is there? 360 degree. So already I told that the angle of contact between this general as well as bearing is how much is there? 360 degree. What we can say as the full general bearing. As well as in this case, the diameter of this general is lesser than the diameter of the bush. Okay, so such type we can say as the full general bearing. What about another one? Next one is, the most of the bearings is used in the industrial application are follow as a general bearings, is it right? So in the partial bearings, the angle of contact between the general and bush, how much is there? Sometime 180 degree or sometime 120 degree. Always you need to remember one thing, the angle of contact between the general and bearing, it is always lesser than 180 degree, always lesser than 180 degree. So the angle of contact, nowadays we assume that the angle of contact between the general as well as in the between the bearing is how much is there? 120 degree, is it right? So the diameter of this general is lesser than diameter of this bearing. Clear? I hope so no one is having the confusion. You know very well regarding this one, fitted general bearing. The fitted general bearing nothing but the angle of contact between this general and bearing is 120 degree. The diameter of this general, it is greater than the diameters of the bearing. The such type of the bearings, what we can say as the fitted general bearings. Clear? Next one, what are the advantage of the hydrodynamics bearings? The first thing is, the advantage of the hydrodynamics bearing is simple in construction and easy to maintain, as well as they having the low power losses in the hydrodynamics bearing. And third condition is, do not require auxiliary equipment like pump. It is not required or not essential in the hydrodynamics bearings. Okay, as well as low initial as well as low maintenance cost is required in the hydrodynamics bearing. Clear here? What are the disadvantage of this hydrodynamics bearing? So it cannot use for low speed, as well as it is extremely used for higher speed application purpose. We are using the hydrodynamics bearings. Clear? As well as in the hydrodynamics bearings, the frictional losses at the low speed, if the speed of this general, if it is less, they have the possibility is there, the frictions losses will be maximum. If speed will be more, the frictions losses will be very less. Clear? And third thing is, it require the higher steering frictions, is it right? And another one is, it require the poor positional accuracy. So from this one we will not get the maximum accuracy from this hydrodynamics bearings. Okay, and what are the disadvantage of this hydrodynamics bearing is, it is not suitable for frequent start and stop application. So if you start the application, it will take too much time. If you suddenly if you want to stop, then it will take lot of time, as well they have the possibility of higher frictions will be occur in between this general as well as in between this bearing. For that reason, it is not suitable for the frequent start as well as a frequently stop application purpose. That is the disadvantage of the hydrodynamics bearing. So what are the applications of the hydrodynamics bearings? The first application is, it is widely used in the any type of the engines in which we are using the hydrodynamics bearings. And the second thing is, we are using in the hydraulics turbine in which we are using the hydrodynamics bearings, as well as we are using in the large centrifugal pump in which we are using the hydrodynamics bearings, as well as guide way of the machine tool in which we are using the hydrodynamics bearings. Okay. So in the next class, we are going to discuss regarding the hydrostatic lubrications. Okay, dear. In the next class, we are going to discuss regarding these hydrostatic lubrications. I hope so no one is having the doubt regarding up to hydrodynamics lubrications. Okay, dear. If you have the doubt regarding the hydrodynamics lubrications, please write down in the comment box, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel, dear. Thank you.